Welcome to Week 1 of Advanced C++. This lecture will discuss the basic elements of C++. In this lecture, you will become familiar with the basic components of a C++ program, including functions, special symbols, and identifiers in C++, explore simple data types, assignment statements, and variable declarations. A computer program is simply a sequence of statements whose objective is to accomplish a task. Programming is the process of planning and creating a program using a sequence of statements. For example, a recipe for cooking. Think about baking a cake. We use a sequence of steps: add eggs, add flour, add butter, add oil, mix, bake, etc. to create a finished product. Let's look at a simple program to compute and output the perimeter and area of a triangle. At the top, we see our comment section. It is very important as a programmer to always comment your code, not only so you will remember what you wrote, but also to allow programmers that come behind you to be able to understand your code. Walking through the program, we have our variables to store information: length, width, area, and perimeter. Here, we use an output statement to write a statement to the screen to let the user know the intent of our program. Next, we set up our constant, length. We set up our constant width along with our formulas, perimeter, and area. Finally, we use the output statements to display the length, width, and calculation of the perimeter and area. In our programs, we have variables. A variable is a memory location whose content can be changed. For example, we can store the value 6.0 in the variable length. We store the value 4.0 in the variable width. We multiply length times width and store that result in the variable area. If we were to run our program, we can see our code in action. The statement of what the program will do, the displaying of the constant variables, or length equals 6 and width equals 4, and the results of our calculations, the perimeter and the area. The basics of a C++ program consist of functions or subprograms, which are a collection of executable statements; syntax rules, which are rules that specify which statements are legal or valid; semantic rules, which determine the meaning of the instructions; and programming language, which is a set of rules, symbols, and special. Comments in a program are for the programmer and not used by the compiler for the program. We can comment our program in two ways: using 2 forward slashes to comment a single line in our program, or a forward slash and an asterisk followed by comments and ending with an asterisk and then a forward slash when we want to write several lines. These are some special symbols that we can use in our programs. For example, plus for addition, minus for subtraction, greater than and equal for comparisons, etc. It is important to note that in C++ there are reserved words which cannot be redefined in a program or used for anything else other than their intended purpose. Such examples include int, float, char, and return. An identifier in C++ consists of letters, digits, and the underscore character and must begin with a letter or underscore. Remember, C++ is case sensitive. For example, capital NUMBER is not the same as lowercase NUMBER. Let's look at a few examples of legal and illegal identifiers in C++. We can see that the identifiers, first, conversion and pay rate, adhere to the rules of identifiers we previously discussed. Table 2-1 shows some examples of illegal identifiers. Employee salary. This is illegal because there cannot be a space in the identifiers. Hello with an exclamation mark. This is illegal because an exclamation mark cannot be used as an identifier. Data types are a set of values coupled together with a set of operation and falls into 3 categories: simple data types, structured data types, and pointers. Looking a little more closely at simple data types, we see there are 3 categories: integral, which are integers or numbers without a decimal; floating point, which are numbers with decimals; and enumeration types, which are user-defined data types. Declaring variables and assignment statements. When a variable is declared, a data type must always be specified. For example, counter is declared as an integer, grade is declared as a character. When an assignment statement is used, we follow the syntax of variable equal expression. For example, interest rate equals 0.05. We have learned that a C++ program is a sequence of statements to accomplish a task. A C++ program is a collection of functions, one of which is always called main. Identifiers consist of letters, digits, and underscores, and begins with letters or underscores. And all variables must be declared before used.